As the buzzing seminar hall receded behind me, a question lingered in my mind. The echoes of the day's discourse on money strategies still resonated in my ears as I made my way back to the solitude of my hotel suite. Today, we had delved deep into the financial advice of Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad. It's a doctrine many of us have come across, a mantra for wealth creation that has been touted for decades. But as I shrugged off my coat, the skeptic in me couldn't help but wonder, is this advice still relevant in the year 2024? In an age of digital currencies, economic upheavals, and the shifting sands of global finance, could the strategies of the Rich Dad still apply? Let's recap for a moment. The Rich Dad's advice centers around 4 quadrants of wealth creation: the employed, the self-employed, the business owner, and the investor. Each quadrant represents a different approach to making money, a different mindset towards wealth. But the world has changed since Kiyosaki penned his wisdom. The employed are not just the 9-to-5 office goers anymore. They're digital nomads, freelancers, gig workers. The self-employed are not just the small business owners. They're influencers, content creators, online coaches, and the business owners and investors. They're playing in a whole new ball game with rules that are being rewritten every day. So the question that was nibbling at the edges of my consciousness was this: in this new world, does the 4-quadrant model still hold true? Can we still categorize wealth creation into these neat boxes? Or has the game of money become more complex, more fluid? As I poured myself a cocktail, the lights of the city twinkling outside my window, I decided it was time to delve deeper, to challenge the status quo, to question the established wisdom, to find my own answers. Could Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad's advice hold water in today's world? I was about to find out. Back at the hotel suite, a cocktail in hand, I decided to delve deeper into this question. The Rich Dad's advice, is it still relevant in this year of 2024? As I sipped my drink, I began to dissect the wisdom imparted by Robert Kiyosaki, starting with the first 2 quadrants, employed and self-employed. The employed quadrant, a realm where security is valued above all else. It's a place where a steady paycheck is the holy grail, and the fear of losing it is the monster under the bed. But in the age of automation and artificial intelligence, how secure are these jobs? And, more importantly, is the comfort of a regular income enough to build wealth? Moving on to the self-employed quadrant, a space for the independent and the brave. Those who've taken the leap of faith to become their own bosses, trading the security of employment for the freedom of self-reliance. But with the rise of the gig economy and the saturation of the market, is there enough room for all these brave souls? And does this path truly lead to financial freedom? Or is it just a different version of the rat race? As I mulled over these questions, I took a moment to reflect on the financial climate of 2024. We live in an era of unprecedented opportunities, yet also of great uncertainties. The world economy is more interconnected than ever, yet it is also more volatile. The traditional paths to wealth seem to be morphing, perhaps even fading. So are these first 2 quadrants, the employed and self-employed, still viable routes to wealth? Can one accumulate substantial wealth in the long run by trading time for money? Or do we need to look at the other quadrants, the ones less traveled by, to find the answer? These were the questions swirling in my mind, a cocktail of thoughts, if you will. The path of the employed and self-employed, are they still viable routes to wealth? I pondered as the doorbell rang. Excuse me for a moment, someone's at the door. While I'm away, let's take a pause and consider this. If you're finding value in these reflections, if my musings on money strategies and the wisdom of the Rich Dad are resonating with you, then why not subscribe? Become part of this journey we're on together, exploring paths to financial freedom. And if you're already a subscriber, then thank you. Your support is what makes this all possible. Now, I'd like to ask you a favor. If you think this video could help someone else, someone you know who's also navigating their way towards financial independence, then share it. Pass it on. Let's widen the circle. And finally, if you're enjoying the conversation, let me know. Hit that like button. It's a small act, but it lets me know I'm on the right track. It was just room service. Now where were we? Yes, the path of the business owner and the investor. These 2 quadrants, they're the ones that truly piqued my interest during the seminar. This is where the wealthier folks seem to be playing their game. Let's dive into that, shall we? The business owner now, they're interesting. They create systems, systems that work for them, even when they're not physically present. They build an enterprise bigger than themselves, something that can function without their direct involvement. It's like creating a well-oiled machine that keeps running, producing wealth, while they oversee it from a distance. They're not just working in the business, they're working on it. It's an intriguing concept, isn't it? Then we have the investors. Oh, the investors. They're in a league of their own. They let their money do the hard work. They invest in stocks, real estate, businesses, you name it. Their money is their employee, and it's an employee that never sleeps. It works round the clock, multiplying itself, building wealth. It's a fascinating game they play, one where the rules are complex, but the rewards, they can be substantial. Now, these strategies, they're not new. They've been around for a while. The rich have always known how to use their money to make more money. They've mastered the art of letting money work for them, rather than them working for money. It's a different mindset, a different approach to wealth accumulation. But the question that keeps nudging at my thoughts, is it still relevant in 2024? Can the average Joe or Jane embark on this path and achieve financial freedom? The world has changed significantly. The economy isn't what it used to be. Technology has altered the landscape, creating new opportunities, but also new challenges. The business owner and the investor, they seem to have cracked the code. But was it still applicable today? As I finished my cocktail, I found my answer. It dawned on me, like a lightning bolt in a clear night sky. The wisdom of the rich dad, its essence, its core, remains as relevant today as it was when I first read those pages years ago. You see, the world may change, economies may fluctuate, new technologies may rise and fall, but the principles of wealth, those remain constant. The rich dad's advice isn't just about money strategies. It's about a mindset, a way of thinking, a philosophy. It's about understanding the difference between working for money and having your money work for you. And there's something timeless, something universal about this philosophy. It's why we still talk about it, why we still debate it, why we still question it. Because it challenges us, it pushes us to think differently, to act differently, to be different. The rich dad's quadrant, that elegant division of employed, self-employed, business owner, and investor, it's more than a model. It's a map. A map that guides us through the complex maze of financial life. It's not about being stuck in one quadrant or another. It's about understanding where you are, where you want to be, and how to get there. Wealth, true wealth, isn't about having a lot of money. It's about having a lot of options. It's about freedom. Freedom to choose, freedom to act, freedom to live. And that's what the rich dad's advice gives us. It gives us the tools to build our own road to freedom. So after a deep dive into my thoughts, after a challenging debate with myself, after a glass of cocktail and a knock at the door, I can say, without a shadow of doubt, that the rich dad's advice still rings true. It's not an easy path, but it's a worthy one. Yes, the rich dad's advice still holds true. The path to wealth is not a straight line, but a quadrant. And in this quadrant, your money works for you.